Pandas by Graham Meadows and Claire Vial. About pandas. There are two kinds of pandas. The most well-known panda is the black and white giant panda. There is also the red panda, which is known as the lesser panda. Giant pandas spend most of their time on the ground, while red pandas generally stay in trees. This book is about giant pandas. They are found only in the mountains of central China. The giant panda is one of the rarest animals in the world. There are fewer than 1,000 giant pandas living in the wild. Where giant pandas live. Giant pandas live in mountain forests, as high as 10,000 feet above sea level. These forests contain bamboo, which usually grows more than 10 feet high. It is cool and wet in the giant panda's habitat, even in summer, and the mountains where they live are often covered in clouds or mist. In winter, when it snows, giant pandas move down the mountain slopes in search of food. Giant pandas belong to the same animal family as bears. Their shape and size. Giant pandas' bodies are similar in shape to those of other bears. Males and females look alike except for their size. Male giant pandas can grow up to 6 feet long and measure 3 feet high at the shoulders. They can weigh more than 220 pounds. Females are smaller and can weigh up to 180 pounds. A giant panda's tail is only about 6 inches long. Their coat and coloring. Giant pandas look like other bears, except for their creamy white color coat. They have large black patches over their eyes, ears, and legs, and a black band across their shoulders. Because giant pandas live in cold, wet habitats, they have thick, waterproof fur to keep them warm and dry. The giant panda's coat provides a good camouflage in its snowy, rocky environment. Their paws and eyes. Giant pandas have very unusual front paws. They have 5 claws on each front paw, plus an enlarged wrist bone that acts like a thumb. This thumb helps them to hold their food. Giant pandas' eyes are not like those of other bears. Other bears have round pupils, but giant pandas have vertical pupils like those of a cat. One Chinese name for the giant panda is Da Dion Mao. I don't know that I said that right, which means giant bear cat. In the wild, their diet. In the wild, bamboo is the main part of the giant panda's diet. They eat the bamboo leaves, roots, and young bamboo shoots. But the part they like most is the soft, sweet tissue inside the bamboo stems. Bamboo is very low in nutrition, and it is hard to digest. So giant pandas need to eat a large amount. To get enough nutrition, they need to eat about 40 pounds of bamboo every day. Giant pandas also eat grass, roots, bulbs, and pieces of bark. How giant pandas eat. Giant pandas usually sit upright while they are eating. When they sit this way, they use their special thumb to hold on to the bamboo as they eat. Giant pandas use their powerful jaws and strong front teeth to tear off leaves and peel off the hard outer part of the bamboo stems. They use their back teeth to crush and chew their food. The round shape of their face is due to large jaw muscles that are needed to eat the tough bamboo. Giant pandas spend up to 14 hours a day feeding. How they move. Like other bears, giant pandas walk along the ground on the soles of their feet. They usually walk slowly and waddle from side to side as they move along. Unlike other bears, giant pandas cannot stand up on their hind legs because they have strong, sharp claws. Giant pandas are good climbers. Giant pandas can quickly climb a tree when they are frightened or threatened. Their lifestyle. Giant pandas generally are solitary animals. This means they usually live alone. They do not have a permanent home. They spend some of their time in a special area called a home range. When they are not eating, giant pandas rest or sleep. They rest and sleep on the ground or in trees. Sometimes giant pandas make a bed on the ground using leaves and bits of branches. Giant pandas often wander from place to place in search of food and water. Their families. Giant pandas start to breed when they are between 4 and 10 years old. They mate in the spring, and females give birth to 3 to 5 months. They give birth 3 to 5 months later. The female makes a den when it is due to give birth. And in the den, the mother gives birth to 1 or 2 tiny pink cubs. Each cub is covered with white fur and weighs 4 to 6 ounces. When a giant panda cub is about 4 weeks old, its white fur begins to change and a black and white pattern starts to appear. How young giant pandas grow up. Giant panda cubs grow quickly. Their eyes open when they are about 7 weeks old. By the time they are 10 weeks old, they start to crawl. The cubs begin to eat bamboo when they are about 5 months old. They are weaned at about 9 months of age. The cubs leave their mother and become independent when they are between 12 and 18 months old. These beautiful, peaceful creatures are rapidly disappearing from the wild. They are now considered an endangered species. Pandas by Graham Meadows and Claire Vial.